Good morning, students. Today we shall derive an expression for mutual inductance between two solenoids. To learn this derivation, we need certain points which we have done in the previous sessions. Let us recall those points. We had seen the phenomenon of mutual induction. For mutual induction, you need two coils. You pass current through one coil, then the flux linked with the other coil changes. So we had an equation like this. Flux linked with the secondary coil Ns phi s is equal to some constant m into current through the primary coil. So this is flux linked with secondary coil and Ip is the current through the primary coil. M is a constant. We call it as mutual inductance between the two coils. Also, we had seen that when you pass current through a solenoid, a magnetic field is produced which acts along the axis of the solenoid, and this value of magnetic field B is given by mu 0 Ni, where N is the number of turns per unit length and I is the current through the solenoid. How does this magnetic field act? This magnetic field acts perpendicular to the area of cross section of the solenoid. Suppose the area of cross section of the solenoid is A, then the flux linked with one turn is given by B into A. B is the magnetic field and A is the area of cross section. So these points we shall be using now for today's derivation. So this derivation is a long derivation. It will be asked for 5 marks. Now let us consider two long coaxial solenoids. What is the meaning of coaxial solenoids? Axis is the same for both the solenoids. So we are having two solenoids. You can see them in the figure. One is shown by the dotted lines, another is shown by the solid lines. The outer solenoid we shall denote by the letter S2 and the inner solenoid we shall denote by the letter S1. Length of each solenoid is equals to L. So same length is there for both the solenoids. Now let us write the number of turns for each solenoid. Let us take the first one, inner solenoid. It is S1. Total number of turns for the inner solenoid is N1. Number of turns per unit length is N1. Radius of the inner solenoid we shall call it as R1. So what is the value of N1? N1 is number of turns per unit length. So total number of turns N1 divided by the length N1 upon L. If you cross multiply, you will get the value of N1. What is N1? Small n1 into L. So this is for the inner solenoid. Same thing we shall do it for the outer solenoid also. For the outer solenoid S2, let us write the number of turns as N2, number of turns per unit length as small n2, and radius we shall call it as R2. Once again use the definition for N2, number of turns per unit length, total number of turns divided by the length, that is N2 upon L. If you cross multiply, you will get the value of N2 as small n2 into L. Now here in this derivation there are two parts. As you know, for mutual induction you have to pass current through one coil. The flux linked with the other coil changes. So we shall take two different cases. First we shall pass current through the outer solenoid, that is your case 1, and then similar cases pass current through the inner solenoid, that is your case 2. Now let us first take the case 1, that is you pass current through the outer solenoid. Let us denote the current as I2. So I2 is passed through the outer solenoid S2. So you are passing a current I2 through the outer solenoid. Now just now I told you, whenever you pass current through any solenoid, a magnetic field is produced and the value of magnetic field is given as mu 0 Ni. Now you make the changes for the outer solenoid. Put the values for the outer solenoid. So let us denote the magnetic field as B2 and it will be mu 0. Number of turns for the outer solenoid is N2. Currents passed through the outer solenoid is I2. So what is the magnetic field produced by the current I2? It is nothing but mu 0 N2 into I2. Now this magnetic field acts perpendicular to the area of cross section. So it acts perpendicular to the cross sectional area of the inner solenoid. This B2 acts normal to the area of cross section of the inner solenoid. Now we shall find out what is the flux linked with the inner solenoid. So flux linked with the inner solenoid is equals to N1 into phi1. Phi1 is the flux linked with one turn and total number of turns is N1. So the flux linked with the inner solenoid is N1 into Phi1. Now let us put the value of N1 and Phi1. N1 you just now got it as small n1 into L. So I have substituted it as N1L. What is the value of Phi1? Phi1 is given as the product of B and A because B is normal to the area of cross section. So it is B. B is nothing but B2 and area of cross section of the inner solenoid. Radius is R1. So what will be the area of cross section of the inner solenoid? It will be pi R1 square. So you will have N1L B2 into pi R1 square. Now we shall put the value of B2. What is the value of B2? Value of B2 is mu 0 N2 I2. So put the value of B2 mu 0 N2 I2 and just rearrange the terms. You will get this as mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square into L I2. So this is the flux linked with the inner solenoid. Let us call it as equation 1. Also, by the principle of mutual induction, flux linked with one coil is equals to some constant into the current through the other coil. So this flux linked with the inner solenoid N1 Phi1 is constant M12 and current through the outer coil, that is I2. What is M12? M12 is a constant and it is nothing but mutual inductance of the inner solenoid with respect to the outer solenoid. Now this is your equation 2. So both are for N1 Phi1. So you can easily equate equations 1 and 2. If you equate equations 1 and 2, you will see that I2 is common on both sides. It gets cancelled. So you will have M12 as mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square into L. So this will give you the mutual inductance of which solenoid? Mutual inductance of the inner solenoid with respect to the outer solenoid. So this is your case 1. Now in case 2, what you will do? You will pass current through the inner solenoid and you will get another constant M21, that is mutual inductance of S2 with respect to S1. So that case is very similar to this case 1. The only thing, wherever there is 2, you have to make it 1. Interchange 1 and 2, you will get the case 2. So now we shall find out the value of M21. Now let us go to case 2. That is, current is passed through the inner solenoid. So I1 is passed through S1. So when current is passed through the solenoid, magnetic field is produced. So magnetic field inside the inner solenoid, we shall denote it as B1. And the value of B1 according to this equation, mu 0 NR, here it will be mu 0, number of turns per unit length is N1 into I1. So B1 will be equals to mu 0 N1 into I1. Now we shall find out what is the flux linked with the outer solenoid S2. So the flux linked with the outer solenoid S2 is given as N2 into Phi2. Phi2 is the flux linked with one turn. Total number of turns is N2. So the total flux linked with S2 is given as N2 into Phi2. Now let us put the value of N2 and Phi2 and simplify. What is the value of N2? According to this equation, N2 is equals to small n2 into L. So I have written here as N2L. Flux. Flux is given by the product of B and A. Magnetic field into area of cross section. So the magnetic field is B1. And what is the area of cross section on which B1 acts? So remember one point, whenever current is passed through a solenoid, magnetic field is produced only inside the solenoid. There is no magnetic field outside the solenoid. Now the current I1 is passed through S1 and the field B1 will be acting only on the area of cross section of the inner solenoid. So what is the area of cross section of the inner solenoid? Radius is R1. So area of cross section of the inner solenoid is pi R1 square. So it will be B1 into pi R1 square. So one important point you will note down is, for case 1 also the area of cross section was pi R1 square. For case 2 also again the area of cross section is pi R1 square. Now let us put the value of B1 and simplify. Put this value of B1 mu 0 N1 I1, slightly rearrange the terms. You will get the value of N2 Phi2 as mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square L into I1. Let us call this as equation 4. Now another equation for N2 Phi2 we can write using this relation. So flux linked is given by constant m into the current. So the flux linked N2 is given as constant. I shall denote the constant as M21 into the current. Current is I1. What is M21? M21 is nothing but mutual inductance of S2 with respect to S1. Now if you observe equations 4 and 5, you will find that both are for what? N2. So you can very easily equate equations 4 and 5. So if you equate equations 4 and 5, then I1 is common on both sides. It gets cancelled. So you will get the value of M21 as mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square into L. Let us call this equation as 6. So you got an expression for M21 by equation 6. In case 1 you had got an expression for M12 given by equation 3. So I have written the equation 3 here. Now observe equations 3 and 6. What do you find? Both are same. Therefore you can conclude that M12 is equals to M21. Both constants are equal. So I have written it here. M12 is equals to M21. Let us denote them by a common letter M. So I will call this as M. What does M stand for? M is nothing but the mutual inductance between the two coils. So this constant M is nothing but mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square into L. So this is the case for air medium inside the solenoids. Now for any other medium inside the solenoid of permeability mu r, you can replace mu 0 by mu 0 into mu r. So this is for any other medium between the solenoids, inside the solenoids. For air medium it is only mu 0. For any other medium inside the solenoids it is given as mu 0 into mu r. Mu r is nothing but permeability of the medium inside the solenoids. So mu 0 mu r N1 N2 pi R1 square into L. So this is the final expression for mutual inductance between the two coils. So this is a long derivation, but one point you can note down is if you understand case 1, then we can very easily write case 2. So what we have done for this derivation mutual inductance between the two coils. First case was current was passed through the outer solenoid. You found out flux linked with the inner solenoid. Then in the case 2, what you have done? Current is passed through the inner solenoid. You found out flux linked with the outer solenoid. In the first case you got the value of M12. In the second case you got the value of M21. And you will find that both M12 and M2 are one and the same. We denote it by the letter M. So M is nothing but mu 0 N1 N2 pi R1 square into L for air medium. For any other medium of permeability mu r, mu 0 is replaced by mu 0 mu r into N1 N2 pi R1 square into L. So this is the derivation for mutual inductance between two long coaxial solenoids. So if it is asked in the exam, it will be for 5 marks because it is a long derivation. Now one conclusion you can write from this equation, that is a short question. What are the factors on which mutual inductance depends? So you will find that it depends upon number of turns, it depends upon area of cross section, length of the solenoid. So what does it mean? It depends upon length, area of cross section, number of turns. All these terms which are put as the geometry of the coils. So it depends upon the design of the coils, or it depends upon the geometry of the coils. First factor. It depends upon mu r. What is mu r? Permeability of the medium. Second factor is it depends upon the permeability of the medium. And the third factor is depends upon the distance between the two coils. So these are the factors on which mutual inductance depends. So once again I'll tell you the factors on which mutual inductance depends. It depends upon number of turns, area of cross section, length means it depends upon what? Geometry of the coils. It depends upon the permeability of the medium, and it also depends upon the distance between the two coils. So what points we have learnt in today's session? We have done a derivation for mutual inductance between two long coaxial solenoids, and then we have worked out for the factors on which the mutual inductance depends. So this is all for today's session. Thank you.